From Dolphin Soccer Park on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II women's soccer coverage live on the ECC network. In our 2023 season opener, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Purple Knights of St. Michael's College. Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, back on the call with you for 2023 and joined for the first time here on CSI Sportsnet by my broadcast partner, Aaron Cohen.
Hey, Joe, it's nice to be on the broadcast, and I'm excited for what this season has in store.
A lot of excitement surrounding this 2023 season for the College of Staten Island women's soccer team. A lot of new faces on this roster, an entirely new coaching staff, and 2 more open East Coast Conference playoff spots this season. The top 6 teams will get in this year rather than the top 4 as we saw last year.
That'll be really interesting for this Dolphins team specifically. Finished 7th in the conference standings last year. Record in the conference was 2-5-1. So if they're anything similar to what they were last year, which is no guarantee, then they'll be right on the bubble for the playoffs.
Non-conference matchup for the College of Staten Island here this morning. Overall record for the Dolphins last year, 2-9-3. As Aaron mentioned, they were 2-5-1 against the East Coast Conference. But the Dolphins will open the season here at home, and they will be at home for the first several games this year. The Dolphins will open the regular season with 4 consecutive home games. This the first. They are back on Sunday against Bloomfield, again on Tuesday against Felician, and then one final stretch of home games to open up the season ends with Texas A&M International University on Sunday, September 10th. So a lot of Dolphin soccer coming up here at the College of Staten Island. CSI hoping to get the season started off strong on their home turf today.
Yeah, and if you look at these early stretch of home games, and then you can even include their last non-conference game, which is at Georgian Court, all of these games, based on how those teams performed last season, look like they should be winnable or at least competitive. You know, none of these teams were over 500. Bloomfield 3-9-5, Felician 2-14-2. Texas A&M International and Georgian Court were a little bit closer to 500, but still only having 5-6-6 and 4-7-7 records respectively. So if you're a Dolphins fan, you should be looking at those games hoping that the non-conference schedule goes pretty well.
The Dolphins 1-4-1 at home last season. The team did not pick up their first win until game number 8. That game was played on October 1st of 2022 against D'Youville University. The team did not score their first goal until game 6. That game also played at home against St. Thomas Aquinas College. But Aaron, I had a chance to get a look at this team in scrimmage play 1 week ago. The Dolphins took 6 games to score last year. They got on the board early multiple times in their scrimmage last Wednesday against Dominican. That the only preseason tune-up this team had. They've had a week to prepare ahead of this game since that scrimmage, and I'm very excited to see them take the pitch today. Yeah,
there's a lot that we do not know about this team, but they did get that 2-2 draw versus Dominican University. Chargers, a pretty respectable program. And this, new head coach, Alex Mendolia, first year under control of the Dolphins here, has a lot of experience coaching in the past. He's coached assistant at D2. He's been a head coach at D3, assistant in even Division I at Seton Hall University. So he's got a lot under his belt and a lot of experience to use when bringing this team hopefully to a new level. And only time will tell what he's capable of doing.
Alex came on back in March, and he has been hard at work recruiting a lot of new faces on this women's soccer team. This team returns 3 of their 6 goal scorers from last year, including one of their 2 leading goal scorers, Jacqueline D'Amico. She is a graduate student, led the Dolphins, or at least earned a share of the team lead with 3 goals last season, 6 points for her. 14 shots overall, 7 shots on goal for D'Amico last season. She led the way for the Dolphins offensively, specifically in their win over Lincoln University late in the season. That game saw the Dolphins score a season high in goals. They won over the Lions by a final score of 4-1. But speaking of goals scored, Aaron, something you and I both took note of, looking at the St. Michael's team now, they did not play a game last season in which either they or their opponent scored more than 2 goals. Really remarkable. You mentioned the Dolphins opening with several non-conference opponents. None of them have winning records. St. Michael's came close, 5-5-5. What else stood out to you from this Purple Knights team last season in their schedule?
I mean, the one thing you really can say about St. Michael's is just balance. I mean, everything is so even about what they did last season. 3-1-3 at home, a little bit worse away at 2-4-2. You mentioned the low scoring. They were 5 0-0 draws last year. They scored 9 goals. They conceded 9 goals. The one thing that you really might want to note about this team is that their shot percentage was extremely low. They actually were pretty good at getting shots off on goal. They had 159 shots over the course of last season. So if you do that math, 159 shots and 9 goals, that puts you at a shot conversion percentage at about .057. And, you know, obviously in soccer, no shot percentage is going to be particularly high, but even that is around half of what you're hoping to get to at least. You know, CSI last year, for the lackluster performance that they had throughout the season, we're still at .111, which is basically double. So St. Michael's is definitely a team that can play around. They can definitely connect some passes and get some patterns down the field, but it's really, at least last season, it was the final third where they just really fell apart. So for that reason, it's you know, St. Michael's is going to be dangerous. It's going to be difficult. The Dolphins are going to be doing a lot of defending.
The Dolphins will have to be stout defensively today. You mentioned St. Michael's having a tough time converting on goal-scoring chances last year. However, this matchup with the Dolphins could present an opportunity for this Purple Knights team. The Dolphins allowed 2.5 goals per game last season, only averaged about .7 goals per game. And we mentioned the Dolphins do have a lot of roster turnover. St. Michael's, with a huge roster, definitely outsizing the Dolphins in terms of pure numbers, and they have many, many returners on their roster as well. So that's something the Dolphins will have to contend with in this game. That being said, of the Dolphins' 11 starters, 7 of them are returning players. So that's something the Dolphins will have going for them in terms of consistency when it comes to their lineup out on the pitch here in Game 1. And we mentioned the new faces already, many of them, and I'm very excited to see what's in store for this Dolphins team this year and to get a look at some of these new players. We got a brief taste of what to expect during Wednesday's scrimmage last week, but I was in and out of the press box, didn't get to take in the entire game. This is my first look at this new-look Dolphins team, and in about a minute and a half, we'll have the introduction of starting lineups. Aaron, any final thoughts before we wrap up our pregame show?
Yeah, I think I want to touch upon just the advantage that the Dolphins have by being so new. You know, you can look at St. Michael's film from last year and sort of get an idea of how they want to play, but because the Dolphins have a new head coach, they have a bunch of new players, about 12 new players, including 2 transfers. There's not really a lot of tape to see what they're going to play like, and that could play to their advantage because St. Michael's isn't really going to know what to expect.
And we will get a better idea of what to expect in just a few short minutes. Coming up next, the College of Staten Island women's soccer team opens the 2023 season against St. Michael's College. This is CSI Sportsnet coverage of NCAA Division II women's soccer season opener. Coming up next.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And we are back from Dolphin Soccer Park. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Aaron Cohen with the call of this 2023 women's soccer season opener. The starting lineups have been introduced down on the pitch, and the national anthem has been played. So with that, I will bring you the starting lineups for both teams, beginning first with the home team, the College of Staten Island Dolphins. In goal is 0, Brianna Dorr. The rest of the Dolphin starters in numerical order: number 2, Jacqueline D'Amico; number 4, Emily Albano; number 8, Nadia Evola; number 10, Isabella Radavini; number 11, Juliana Carrara; number 12, Gabriela Castro; number 18, Ina Kolka; number 20, Ariel Uwe; number 24, Adriana Melgar; and number 27, Megan Marr. Starters for the visiting St. Michael's College Purple Knights in numerical order: number 4, Kaylee Kroll; number 8, Claire Williams; number 10, Bella Del Vecchio; number 12, Sam Page; number 13, Katie Hansen; number 15, Hannah Keneally; number 17, Amelia McGiffert; number 21, Christina Cummings; number 26, Natalie Larson; number 32, Melanie Winters; and number 43, Juliana Anastopoulos. Dolphins huddled to the left of midfield. Our camera shot today is provided by our Huddle Focus camera mounted atop the press box here at Dolphin Soccer Park. I do hope to get the chance to tinker with the zoom, but we're going to see how it plays out once we kick off here at the College of Staten Island. The camera, of course, programmed to follow the action, specifically the ball. So once we get started, the camera should focus a bit more out on the pitch. Clock operated up here in the booth. We will count down from 45 minutes in each half as the Dolphins get set to kick off, waiting for the Purple Knights to break huddle. They're huddled off of your screen at the moment. Jacqueline D'Amico standing over the ball at midfield. Graduate student on this Dolphins team, came over a couple of years back. Now in her third season with the College of Staten Island. We await the official's whistle. And we have kickoff of the 2023 regular season here at Dolphins Soccer Park as the Dolphins give it away in the midfield. Purple Knights working toward the far side. This is Kroll. She sends it up ahead. McGiffert toward the corner. Challenged by Albano, who goes down. McGiffert moving toward the center of the pitch. Sends one toward goal and wide. As we have our first shot of the game early. A non-threatening chance, and the Dolphins will have a goal kick.
It was good work to get the shot off. A really tough challenge there out wide, but managed to keep the ball shot on perhaps her unfavored left foot. Really never had a chance of doing anything dangerous.
Dolphins will get started from their own penalty area. Castro over to Melgar and back to Marr. Ball now with the keeper, Brianna Dorr. Got a chance to see Dorr get a couple of starts last season. I believe one of those were at home, if I'm not mistaken. Melgar sends it out across the midfield stripe. D'Amico got a foot on it. And that pass attempt nearly intercepted by Radavini. She keeps it in play along the near side. D'Amico give and go with Radavini. But giving chase is Page, and she gets there first. But was she last to touch it is the question. And she was not.
Interesting.
Will throw.
Going to be interesting to see Radavini and the way she plays and the way that she fits into this system. She's one of the transfer students onto this team, so it's her first time playing in an official competition, coming from St. Francis, Brooklyn. So that's a Division I program, potential to offer quite a lot.
Dolphins will throw in. Castro toward the corner of the box, off the body of Evela. And the Purple Knights had it for a moment, but that was sent out of play by Castro. Quick throw-in taken by the Purple Knights. Challenged by Radavini as the Purple Knights send it up in the air. Del Vecchio again challenged by Radavini, who knocks it over the near side.
Tenacious early on. She's really getting stuck into all these challenges. A lot of aggression.
And again, gets a foot on that ball and forces a throw-in. That's sent up in the air. Marr waiting for it to come down. And she was met by Kroll. Purple Knights will throw yet again here. Looking to turn is Kroll. Met by Marr, and it's cleared away by the Dolphins' backer. D'Amico for Radavini. And she had it taken away by Del Vecchio. Redirection by Winters, and Dolphins continuing to put the pressure on in the midfield. Hansen moving toward the far side. That ball splits the Dolphins' midfielders. And the Purple Knights looking to get something going here. This is Winters moving in toward the attacking third. And once again, it's taken away by Radavini.
Once again, showing her great defensive work rate. This whole entire press by the Dolphins has been pretty intense.
And a good tackle there by Keneally. Gets things started. That's saved by Dorr. Got there just in time. It's chipped in the air and headed away by Albano as the Purple Knights earn a corner kick. But that all got started on the tackle in the midfield by Hannah Keneally.
Del Vecchio slipped in behind there. It looked like it was more of an accident, but it almost ended up in a opening goal early on.
Dorr got there just in time. Del Vecchio closing in. Corner on a line. And knocked out of play once again. And Purple Knights will set up for another corner kick attempt. At least I thought so. They thought so. The official disagreed.
Center ref gave the indication immediately. It was just the St. Michael's players that didn't see the call.
They fooled me. Albano plays it toward the far side. And receives it right back. Melgar sent that one toward Radavini off the body of a Purple Knight. And the Dolphins will earn a throw.
we're already seeing big tactical differences last year to this year. This Dolphins team looking like they're trying to possess the ball. Last year is more defensive, more let the other team hold on to it. So already big changes, probably more to come as the game progresses.
Good challenge there along the far side by Carrara, but the Dolphins cannot keep possession. And there's a poor pass. Radavini is there. She's moving in toward the top of the box. Wide of goal, sends that one off her marker. And Page deflects it over the touchline. So the Dolphins earn a corner kick following a poor pass and an interception by Radavini.
It's the benefit of having your press up high. Pass goes slightly awry by a defense that's not used to passing it around, and they're going to misplace something or other. Radavini there, she's been throughout this entire first 5 minutes. The impact she's already made is very impressive.
She has made her presence known early. Radavini's corner kick cleared away. And Uwe gets there and sends it off of Keneally. And the Dolphins will throw. Melgar plays it back to Castro. Evola had it knocked away. That's out of play.
First touch there just got slightly away from her.
Castro again. Sends it back to Marr. Now Albano working into the midfield. Attempted that pass into heavy traffic, but gets it right back off the deflection. Dolphins send it back to their keeper, and Dorr plays it ahead to Albano again. Melgar has Kroll in hot pursuit, gave it up, and the Dolphins will work it along the back line once again. Albano gets into one. Good ball, but wisely the keeper, Anastopoulos, came out and cleared it away over the far side. Good idea, though, by Albano.
Good awareness by the keeper. St. Michael's keeping a high line, so she's got to be at the edge of her box ready to come out and sweep it up, and she was ready for exactly that.
Anastopoulos nearly found herself in some big trouble there. That was D'Amico closing in. Immediately off the throw as well. You don't see that too often.
Bit nervy, but she handled it. She'll probably look to build into the game a little bit more. St. Michael's finally getting a chance for some possession.
Nearly 8 minutes gone by in this first half. No score between the Dolphins and the Purple Knights as Evola takes it away. Sends one toward Radavini. Good ball. Radavini has room. Looking to move toward the center of the pitch and sends one high. Just over the crossbar. What a chance for the Dolphins.
Well, you have to give credit for the ball in behind. I mean, that was perfectly placed. Chip ball in behind the left back. Perfect weight, and Radavini ran onto it right in stride. Defender did a good job to get in the way. Force her a little bit wide, and the shot was difficult.
A great ball to set up Radavini. Thought she might try and move toward the center of the pitch. Instead, stopped and shot it just high over the crossbar. And the Dolphins have their first true scoring chance of this season. There's another good ball for Radavini. Foot race with the keeper. It's knocked away. And Anastopoulos able to get on top of it.
Dangerous pace Radavini has, and it's clear that their plan is to often get her in behind. And the passes have been connecting so far, just haven't gotten the margins yet, but it's only a few minutes in. There's plenty of time for more.
She's been a menace, both on the attack and defensively. Very busy early in this game, and her effort has paid off. Dolphins nearly turned that into an attacking play. That pass just a bit wide of D'Amico's foot. Now the Purple Knights will look to head the other way. That ball redirected in the midfield. Giveaway by Radavini, but good pressure forces Del Vecchio to retreat. Larson in heavy traffic. Got it away, but Evola has it. Evola back to Uwe. Uwe from Elgar. Back to Mar. Dolphins with 4 captains this season. Albano, Mar, Evola, and D'Amico all wearing those neon pink armbands. Now Albano into the midfield. Redirected for Evola. It was chipped ahead, but no chance there for Carrara. And Anastopoulos will take it.
Some nice interplay in the midfield. Really calm build-up, but looks like they just got a little bit rushed for ideas.
And Ina Kolka with an interception sets up Radovini. Radovini with no one in front of her, but the shot is blocked at the last moment by Page. Another great chance for Radovini and a tremendous defensive play by Sam Page.
It's that press. St. Michael's just struggling to handle the press. Passes are not clean. Radovini was clean through there. Her first touch just wasn't quite good enough. Ball got stuck under her feet. Gave the defender time to get back and cut off the shooting angle.
Corner kick, Staten Island. That's sent toward the middle of the box where Anastopoulos has it. Here come the Purple Knights the other way. Dolphins looking to regroup defensively off the corner. They do. Williams into the midfield. Larson near side for Winters. Winters sends one toward goal, well wide. And Dorr has it on her foot.
Pass was not nearly where she wanted it to be. There was an angle, but probably would have had to have been inside of the right back instead of outside in order to make that pass happen.
Dorr into the midfield. Headed by Winters. And over the near side. Castro will throw. Kolka back to Castro. And she's met by Del Vecchio. Stays with it and gives it away as that was sent right off of Del Vecchio. Dolphins the beneficiaries there. That was nearly intercepted in the midfield. Mar gave it away. Melgar battles. And it was knocked away from McGiffert. Dolphins get it back.
Really nice tackle there from Uwe. She's setting the standard back there really well, cleaning up everything in front of the back line.
Purple Knights will throw.
Or should I say, Melgar, not Uwe.
Purple Knights work it along their back line. The Dolphins continuing to pressure. They ease off just a bit. Keneally toward the far side. Turning upfield is McGiffert. Off the head of Mar. Kolka battling in the midfield and a whistle for a foul. And that will be our first free kick of this match. It belongs to the Dolphins.
Really positive first 15 minutes so far. Lots of chances for the Dolphins. Defending has been very solid. I mean, there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of great things to take away. And Dolphins fans, I'm sure the only thing they're really thinking right now is I hope we can continue to play this way.
I think you're absolutely right, Aaron. We've seen the Dolphins over the last year spend a lot of time in games on their heels looking to shut down scoring chances early, and there were many of them last year against this team. We saw them fall behind in games early, but we also saw games where they battled late into the second half, whether trailing by a goal, maybe two, but despite only winning a couple of games last season, they played a lot of teams close, and I think it's fair to say they've gotten the better of the first 15 in this game thus far. Purple Knights had a big chance early, but since then, the Dolphins have had, by far, the two best scoring opportunities of this match.
And that's the trend of soccer as it's up and coming in the United States, is trying to maintain dominance of possession. And the Dolphins maybe just didn't have the tactical ability or the technical ability to do that, so they were sitting back a lot and absorbing the pressure, but it looks like they're trying to flip that on its head and keep up with the trend of the modern game.
That ball headed into the midfield where Evola was waiting. She chips it skyward, but lost it. And the Purple Knights will have it. That's sent back to Anastopoulos, and she sends it toward the far side. St. Michael's moving into the midfield with some speed here. That ball played up the far side, a good one. And Kroll may have been offsides, but I believe that may have, in fact, traveled over the touchline. We'll see. And it will be a Dolphins throw. Interception by the Purple Knights off the throw-in. McGiffert stays with it. She finds Del Vecchio in heavy traffic. Del Vecchio gives it up. Moving in is Larson. She's cut off by Uwe. And that's kept in play. Nicely done on the challenge by Uwe, who then earns the Dolphins a goal kick.
The more that St. Michael's are getting to have the ball at their feet, the more they're starting to understand how to break down the Dolphins' midfield. And what they've realized is that with Melgar being the single defensive mid, if they're able to get her to move away from the center, it creates space in front of the back line. And so it's going to be really interesting to see if Melgar is able to maintain her position or if she continues to get dragged out.
Something for the Dolphins to keep an eye on as we play on here in the first half. 28:45 on the clock here at Dolphins Soccer Park. St. Michael's has it along the far side. Looking to get on the attack once again, but that ball was broken up by Uwe along the far side. Purple Knights will throw quickly. Kroll might not have been ready for that throw. The Dolphins looking to create a turnover, and they do. Evola chips it up in the air, but no white jerseys in the area. Dolphins defense has been a bit busier these last couple of minutes.
They've kind of, after their early surge, St. Michael's have really started to find their feet, and now it's a bit more of a balanced passage of play.
And there's a takeaway by the Dolphins in the midfield. But Evola couldn't keep it on her foot as the Purple Knights look to counter. Uwe with another nice play there. First the tackle and then the pass breakup. But Evola was surrounded by purple uniforms and she lost it. Larson sends it to her backer. Here comes Page. Now Williams. Williams being given some space. Melgar steps up. And that's a good ball. And the Purple Knights wanted a foul. They don't get it. And Dorr scoops it up.
Big shoulder thrown by Albano there.
I agree. I thought they might get the whistle, Aaron.
It was definitely borderline. The real question to be asked was she in front of the attacker? Was she able to make the ball hers? And it really looked side to side, and a lot of refs let that go. So I don't think St. Michael's can be too upset, but I'm sure that right now they'll be thinking that they could have had a penalty.
As we await what will be a Dolphins free kick, let's get one more look at that last play. There you see the through ball. Shot a bit wide. Well, if shoulder to shoulder is the criteria, they were not shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, upon looking at the replay, it really looked like Albano was just a bit behind, and it was a bit of a push in the back. Maybe getting away with one there for the home team.
There's a great free kick, landing right on the foot of Radovini. She finds Castro, who attempts the cross, but once again, a good job by the Purple Knights, not allowing that as Del Vecchio sent it out of play. And Kolka had it knocked away. Goal kick, St. Michael's.
It's going to be, next few minutes are going to be about finding the balance. We talked about how good the first 15 minutes were, and now sort of shifted back to St. Michael's being able to dominate. And the game's always going to ebb and flow, but you've got to keep your stake in it a little bit. So I think the Dolphins are doing a good job of fielding the surge.
I've often been guilty of the commentator's jinx, Aaron. We said the Dolphins got the better of the first 15. St. Michael's has certainly gotten the better of the last 5. We have a tangle up on the near side and a whistle.
And that's okay that they've got the better. Like I was saying, they're going to be pushing a little bit. I talked about how St. Michael's has that ability to connect passes, so as long as the Dolphins don't completely capitulate, eventually they'll find more rhythm, and they'll get more chances later on, I'm sure.
Now, the important question, Aaron, is are you a believer in the commentator's jinx?
Absolutely I am. I've done it a few times myself.
I was hoping you'd say no, because I've been guilty more than anyone else. As that free kick is sent toward the center of the box. Kolka got her foot on it, but didn't get all of it. And Uwe tracks it down. Uwe toward D'Amico and Radavini, but she split them both with that last pass. Albano tugs the jersey, and she is whistled for the foul. There are some fouls that are worth taking. I think that's one of them.
Got to prevent the counterattack. The Dolphins are a little bit disorganized from the free kick, so this gave them time to reset.
Williams for Del Vecchio. Through ball on target for Winters, but she is offsides.
Bit of a relief there. St. Michael's are starting to find some cracks in the back line, but haven't been able to really connect on those balls in behind quite yet. Still a few reasons for Staten Island fans to be concerned.
And that was relatively close, Aaron. We'll get one more look at it as we have a Dolphins free kick coming up here to be taken by Brianna Dorr. We'll wait until play slows down, make sure we don't miss anything. Radavini had it taken away, but Castro is there. Winters sends it toward the back of the Dolphins defense, and the pressure being applied by Kroll. It's headed in the air, headed a second time. Fight for it in the midfield. Both players trying to avoid the handball whistle. They do. And Williams gets the better of that tangle up. Here comes Page. Page moving into the attacking third. Del Vecchio working toward the center of the pitch. Her shot is blocked. Could have been a cross toward that back post as well. Radavini with another strong tackle took it away from Winters. And now Castro over to Marr. Looked like she may have misplayed that for a moment.
What we've noticed, along with sort of Dolphins shying away from dominating the game, is that Radavini's involvement has also gone down. And so if these first 20-ish minutes are an indication, it's that the flow of the Dolphins game will go with the flow of Radavini. If she's doing well, then the attack's doing well. If not, might be a bit of a struggle.
Here come the Purple Knights back the other way. Looking to counter off the midfield giveaway by the Dolphins, but Melgar with another nice Dolphins tackle in the midfield and a big chance there for Radavini as that was broken up.
The ball was there. It just needed to be either side of the defender. Unfortunately, Melgar put it right at the feet of the left back.
Williams toward goal, and Brianna Dorr has it. For those looking for our live stats, we'll get those up at halftime. If they can hear me next door, they have to input the match ID on the back end of the website. But I don't think they can hear me, Aaron.
I was hoping I could maybe get some communication to them through the window, but I realized it wouldn't work.
If we get a stoppage, I'll step into the room next door. Dolphins sent that ball long. And that's sent back into the midfield by Anastopoulos. Here comes McGiffert. Kolka nearly took it away, and Radavini does, but she gives it right back. Williams was looking for Kroll on that pass. Dorr gets there first and sends it away into the midfield as the Dolphins will throw.
That was the right idea by Dorr. That was a good pass. The idea was correct, just put a little bit too much on it. But Radavini was open.
First substitution of the game. Number 19, Bernadette Lassier into the game. Dolphins still with their starting 11 out there.
Nobody warming up either on the Dolphins bench. I wonder when Coach Mendiola will be thinking about making his first change.
Dolphins on the attack here. Radavini had space. She does get to it. Radavini being challenged, avoids her marker, works toward the touchline, but cannot get the cross through. Heavy traffic. However, the Dolphins will earn a corner kick.
Another instance where Radavini did have the space for the shot initially, but immediately she was closed down and she didn't have the opportunity to pull the trigger there. Again, just stuck slightly under her feet. Very unfortunate. I'm sure she's very frustrated by that, but, I mean, that's only 2 chances so far in the first half of the first half. Shot here off the corner is just wide of the right post. Good opportunity at the top of the box for the Dolphins, but just could not find the frame. Dolphins have looked threatening from corners thus far. And hopefully this is a sign of a little bit more College of Staten Island dominance in those latter stages of this first half. St. Michael's really have been controlling the play ever since that first 15-minute passage. Build up here on the left for St. Michael's. Turn was intercepted. Good play by Dolphins defenders. A little bit stuck here. And they give it away. Good pressure from St. Michael's. Delvecchio looking for options. Can't pass it past Melger. Melger, again, getting stuck in. She's everywhere on defense. Delvecchio again. Looking to switch the field. She does so. Passed out wide right. Now driving into the middle, finding some space. Melger's there as well. Here's Delvecchio. Looking for the long-range shot. It's curled towards the back post, but it was wide. Looked like it worried Dorr for just a second there, but she had it covered the whole way. 2 more substitutions coming in for St. Michael's. Now they've made a total of 3 changes. Still not much action on the Dolphins bench. We have a few players, though, starting to stretch, so maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes we'll see a few substitutions for the home team. Slow build up here for the Dolphins. Now we got the ball played forwards. Flick on by D'Amico, but no one was there to follow it up, and it's a giveaway. Here's Delvecchio. Out wide to Shaw. Keneally. Crowell now lost the ball. Cleared out by Melger. Now at the feet of Radavini. Good combination in the middle. Radavini out wide again. Here's Melger. Melger with the ball over the top. Looking for Carrara, but did not connect. Carrara, the other of the 2 transfers for this Dolphins team, her and Radavini, both coming into the side. Carrara coming from Millersville University. She's a graduate student, number 11. St. Michael's looking to build out of the back. It's good pressure by D'Amico, but St. Michael's able to play around it. Here's Page, passes it forward to Shaw. Good touch, but eventually cut out by Coker.
Thank you, Aaron. Got our live stats taken care of ahead of that last corner kick. Just over 16 minutes to play in this first half. No score between the Dolphins and the Purple Knights. 0-0. CSI will make their first substitution of this match. Evola will head off.
A lot of movement in the midfield. Requires a lot of stamina to maintain that throughout the match, so more midfield substitutions should be expected.
Julia Nenska-Hopushovska will enter the game. Now, Aaron, do we call her JNH? Because saying her full name could be a mouthful each and every time she touches.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That way we can avoid any possible mistakes. Great move.
What a move to set up a potential attacking chance, but good recovery by St. Michael's. And the CSI contingent seated in front of us loved it, specifically men's soccer. Now, was that Radavini on the other side, playing the opposite wing?
That's correct. Radavini's out.
She's in the
on the left. Looks like they made a switch for the new substitute.
She's playing at the forward spot in the center. Purple Knights have it. They recovered well from that dribble by Radavini, but she's been very impressive here in this first half. Purple Knights in the attack in third, but the Dolphins all over.
It's a great play by Melger. Poke away the tackle and immediately spin, poke a pass. It's a shame that the Dolphins couldn't keep it.
Every time St. Michael's has moved into that final third of the field, Melgar has immediately come charging forward and in most cases has ended any attacking opportunities before they get started.
Yeah, St. Michael's, they're building through Staten Island's midfield pretty well, but they just haven't been able to break the final line.
Their best opportunity came early, as we're going to have a couple more substitutions here.
Radavini not coming out, just coming over to talk to Coach Mendolia.
Well, they have the binoculars next door, so very hard for us to let you know who came out. However, Faith Kasiba, one of the players who came in, I believe there was one more as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Cassie Toftero. So Cassie Toftero in, along with Faith Kasiba for St. Michael's. Aaron and I up in the press box along the near side at midfield, probably about 30 feet above field level, and maybe another 30 feet back beyond the pitch, as Kasiba looking to create a chance here. Cross was denied by Castro. Bridget Shaw sends one into the box. Marr gets a foot on it. Kasiba there. Marr dispossesses her, but once again, it was Lassier getting to it for St. Michael's. Her shot just a bit wide, though that may go down as a save for Dorr. I think that one was ticketed for wide of the far post.
Very tame long-range effort. I want to touch briefly upon attacking substitute for St. Michael's, Kasiba. She was St. Michael's top contributing attacker last year. She had 3 goals, which I know may not sound like a whole lot throughout the season, but remember, the entire team only had 9 goals throughout the season, so she contributed a third of their goals. So that's definitely a player to be wary of for the Dolphins defenders.
Dolphins will certainly have their attention focused on her, as you can see. She is harassing Albano along that far sideline, and Albano draws the whistle. Under 12 minutes to play in this first half. Still no score between the Dolphins and the Purple Knights. This has been a good back-and-forth game so far. Both teams have had their chances. I think it's fair to say the Dolphins have had the best scoring opportunities, but Purple Knights have also had their chances, as that ball too strong for Radavini.
You can see the idea there, Radavini trying to peel off the shoulder of the center back. Just couldn't wrap her foot around the ball there was Castro. But we'll probably see that pattern more times going forward.
Purple Knights looking to work it into the midfield, but the Dolphins again pressuring. It was Radavini forcing St. Michael's to play it back to their keeper, and Anastopoulos barely gets it away.
Dangerous there, holding on to it a little too long.
Radavini relentless. And there's a good ball. Big opportunity here. Moving in is Kasiba, and that is saved by Dorr. Not a lot on that shot. Perhaps a chance to pass as another good ball set up a potential scoring chance, but it got away from Del Vecchio. Bit of spin on that last ball for Del Vecchio, and Fortunately so for the Dolphins.
Wow. I mean, it really should be 1-0 after that. Because nothing much to say other than Kasiba was clean through. Great first-time pass. Put Kasiba in behind. And if I was Delvecchio, I'd be pretty annoyed because she was wide open on the other side. Could have just, squared that across and it would have been a tap-in. But instead, Kasiba went for it herself and just got absolutely no power behind that shot at all. Really big chance to miss there.
I thought the pass was coming, Aaron. I'm with you. I thought for sure that Kasiba would look to send it over as we get another look at that last goal-scoring chance. You see the one-touch pass that you mentioned, Aaron. That got everything started on the edge of the midfield. And a bit of a wide shot, but Dorr was able to stop it. Not much on that attempt, as we mentioned already.
You got to understand, as an attacker, I understand the desire to take the shot yourself. But if you're going to make that decision, you have to be convincing, and she just was not.
And you have to wonder if perhaps the reason why there wasn't as much on that shot as we expected is because she was considering a pass, perhaps halfway between shooting it and passing it. Not a great position to be in, but that's a choice you'd love to have.
You got to be able to make that choice as an attacker. But, it seems like she might have been caught in two minds.
That was taken away and sent toward goal. Dorr wisely lets it go on that shot attempt by Taftero. And we're going to have another St. Michael's substitution with just under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Claire Williams will head off.
It's becoming clear why last season St. Michael's had such a low shot percentage, and it's because they just struggle for ideas in the final third, and so what they end up doing is just taking a bunch of long shots that really have no chance of finding the back of the net.
Holly Hartland into the game for St. Michael's. And early in this game, Purple Knights were able to earn a corner kick, and you have to wonder if that's perhaps the best approach, try and earn some more of those. They only have that one corner kick, and that came in the opening minutes. Since then, the Dolphins have had 3. As Albano heads it back into the midfield. Carrara battling along the far side, and she may have drawn a whistle. I believe she did. And the Dolphins will be awarded a free kick.
This will be a good chance for the Dolphins to regain their control of the midfield. They've been doing a good job weathering the St. Michael's attack, but whenever they get the ball at their feet, they're struggling to progress it, so this puts them in a good position to start.
Albano will take the free kick. That's sent to the penalty area. Radavini is there, but so is Anastopoulos. As she grabs it out of the air, nearly a collision over the ball.
She did the right thing. Radavini. She followed that ball just in case the goalkeeper made a little bit of a mistake. She didn't this time, but she might the next.
Purple Knights have it in the midfield. And the Dolphins take it right back as Kasiba looked to turn. Carrara nearly had it intercepted. Albano avoids a challenge. And will play it back to the keeper. Albano played nearly every minute last season for this Dolphins team. 12:38 out of a possible 12:60.
It's clear to see why. Very good with the ball at her feet. Safe pair of feet to have at the back.
That's chipped ahead. Perhaps a chance here for the Purple Knights as Jenna Hitchin was making a run after that ball. But good play in the back by Kolka to prevent a shot. However, St. Michael's is awarded their second corner kick of the game as the clock ticks down inside of 6 minutes to play in half number 1. Without the binoculars, very tough for us to let you know who is taking this corner kick. It's sent toward the center of the box, headed in the air. Dolphins are able to clear it away. And the Purple Knights will throw.
Interesting decision there by Coca to head the ball back into her own box, but didn't end up mattering, so no harm, no foul.
Shaw for Heartland gets it right back. Shaw wanted Kasiba there, but the Dolphins roll over that pass. That ball sent far sideline by LeCier. Middle of the box. That ball on target, but great positioning there by Castro to deny the cross. And we do have a whistle. This play is stopped in the midfield.
Wondering what the ref is talking about here.
Looks like they're calling for the ball back near the Dolphins' goal. Maybe they were playing a CSI advantage in the midfield?
If that is the case, that the ref is calling the ball back for advantage, I would be very upset for the Dolphins because it looked like Melgar was potentially through on goal. But none of the Dolphins players or anyone seemed that upset, so there must be something we're missing.
Not impossible, and it wouldn't be the first time. Purple Knights will throw in. 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Dolphins give it away and take it right back. Melgar. Good ball. On target. It's a foot race. Radovini to it first. Stumbling toward goal and could not get a shot off as we have a foul called outside of the penalty area. The Dolphins will be awarded a free kick here.
Well, this is an interesting call by the referee because surely if you're going to call a foul on that, you'd have to consider that denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. I personally thought that it wasn't a foul and that Sam Page did a great job of putting the attacker off, putting Radovini off just enough so she couldn't get the shot off, but we're going to get none of those things. We're going to get just a normal foul call with no denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, so not even a card.
Well, our viewers at home just got a second look at it, and I think what drew that whistle was the fact that Radovini stumbled over the ball because she began stumbling outside of the penalty area, and I think the official deemed that there was enough contact at that point to blow the whistle. D'Amico lined up over the ball to take this free kick. 4-player wall set up by the Purple Knights. And that free kick well wide.
Don't think she got the contact she wanted to on that. Sort of cut across the ball instead of through it.
Well, Aaron, let's get one more look at the whistle. This is your first look at it. When we have a third body up here, you and I will have a monitor as well that gives us a better view of these things.
Yeah, I don't really see that as being enough contact to warrant a foul. And again, if you're calling that a foul and Radovini's in on goal, it's hard not to say that's a textbook red card offense, a foul when the attacker's in on goal. So it's a bit contradictory there from the referee.
Now, playing devil's advocate in that spot, it looked like she gained goal-scoring position after the foul. The stumble may have even assisted in helping shield her marker off the ball. Perhaps, maybe, that played a role in the decision, but simply playing devil's advocate.
If so, that's an incredibly
nuanced call.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I would give the ref great praise if that's what he thought.
Perhaps I should get a neon orange shirt and head down.
We need the video assistant referee.
We are video assisted replay for basketball. We are responsible for any second look.
In the first half.
Under a minute to play in the first half, the Dolphins awarded another free kick. Albano will take it once again. She will set up inside of the box as the clock winds down inside of 40 seconds. Dolphins hoping for one more opportunity on the attack. Albano sends it toward the midfield. It was knocked down. Under 30 to go in the first half. Good ball. Nenska Hopushovska moving up the near side. She may look to cross. 20 seconds to go in the half. And we have a whistle for offsides. And that should do it for half number 1. As the Dolphins and the Purple Knights in a scoreless tie, 0-0 at the end of 45 minutes. When we come back, the second half of this 2023 women's soccer season opener from Dolphin Soccer Park. Once again, no score between St. Michael's and the College of Staten Island.
I feel like as a player, I've grown so much with this group and with my coaches, and my game has just elevated a lot more than it would have anywhere else, to be honest. So I'm just so grateful to be able to play with this team. And just being able to play in Division I soccer week in, week out, it's just getting the best of both worlds, having the opportunity to get a degree. You really have to appreciate what you have. And there's so many kids around the world that don't get these opportunities, so you have to take advantage of it for sure.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag like facing backwards and look like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back and my dad's like, we have a prodigy. So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. I loved the team. They brought me in like I was one of their own. The professors help out so much. They actually care about developing me, not only so I just memorize the material and able to take a test, but am I able to apply the information. I don't feel nervous asking them, hey, I'm not going to be in class, can you send me something? And they're completely fine with it and they understand, which is the best part. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do. Be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I'm able to go out and become president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee. SAC is consistent of like a ton of different backgrounds, and we'll come up with cool ideas for like fundraisings and having the opportunity to raise money for Make-A-Wish and knowing it's going towards a good cause. Not only motivates me, but it motivates the whole community. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Dear soccer, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be in this position today.
Thank you for being something that is more than just my sport.
Soccer really is the beautiful game, and it will take you more places and give you more experiences than you could have ever dreamed of.
The people that I owe the most to are my teammates.
They have been my crutch to lean on, shoulder to cry on, my hype woman in times of doubt, and my best friends day in and day out.
You get to wake up every day and play the sport you love at one of the highest levels at a prestigious university surrounded by your best friends. There is simply no better feeling.
You have given me my best friends, my most trusted mentors, and the most essential experiences of my young life. You are my community. With you, there is no race, no gender, no rich, and no poor. There is just a ball, 2 goals, and a common language.
Thank you for teaching me how to be a strong and courageous woman on and off the field.
Thank you for giving me hope for the future.
On the soccer field, I found a home. That is where I have always belonged.
I've learned a lot of things. I think one of the biggest things is how to cope with people, because I think that at the University of Virginia, and just as you keep moving on in life, you're going to keep meeting many more people. And I think all of the connections that I've made just at the University of Virginia they've become a big part of me. I think even the guys on the team, I consider some of them my family. I mean, I wake up in the morning at 6 in the morning, I'm spending time with them all the way up till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And I think that's one of the bigger things that I've learned is the relationships that I build with people, whether it be on the soccer field and off the soccer field, because even classmates at University of Virginia are some people I consider some of my best friends. And I definitely think connections with people and the bonds that you build with people that I know are going to carry on with me through my entire life, it's definitely some of the bigger lessons I've learned.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
I can't describe how much I learned as a player, but also as a human being, because you have to overcome challenges that you don't face in other areas. As part of the NCAA and obviously the college system itself, being a student athlete, there's so many challenges that not everybody else can relate to, and you have to try to excel in both areas. And now eventually you'll become a leader. Like in my case, I kind of had to step up into that role. And I feel like I've embraced that challenge, and now I love the spot where I am right now. I love how I've matured, become a leader, become the captain of the team, and hopefully I can help the rest of the guys win the Natty.
I was the kid who would do surgery on my teddy bear and have my sister be my patient, and I would wear the stethoscope and the lab coat. I was that kid. Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Dr. News, who is the head of the biology department, definitely has had a huge impact over the past 2 years I've been in the lab. He took a chance on me and actually gives me the power to actually do things. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. I've had so many experiences with underprivileged people, and just seeing that they want the basic things that people get out of life. And if I can help in any way, that just kind of warms my heart. That's why I want to be a doctor, to serve those who have been dealt a bad hand. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. It was just because I bought into myself, because someone bought into me. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
Dear Soccer, there are no words to describe my love, admiration, and appreciation for you. From the moment I was brought onto this earth, you were all I knew. You have been with me and have seen me from a young little boy in Brazil to a well-rounded man in America. From all the days and nights kicking the ball at walls, breaking everything at home and making my mom upset, sleeping with a ball under my arms, making fun of my dad for beating him by 1 goal, never imagined that he will let me in just to see me smile. You were there for me. You were there with me. When we are together, nothing else matters. It's me and you. It's like the whole world disappears. Everything goes away and we just enjoy it. I have always given you my all, my very best. Soccer, you have brought me to a place outside of my comfort zone, gave me an opportunity to live out my dream, and introduced me to my mentors, my role models, and most importantly, my family. You have been my teacher, my biggest fan, my biggest critic, and my best friend. With you, I was able to accomplish milestones that I'll always be proud, experience moments that I'll never forget, make memories that I'll forever remember, and live the life that I always dream about. So thank you. Thank you for turning the little boy who used to break things into the house to the man that I am today. There are no words to describe my love, admiration, and appreciation for you. But there are words to describe the feelings that I have right now, playing in the Final Four, with the greatest team, the greatest coaching staff, with the greatest university, and with the greatest fans. Nothing will ever compare or measure up to this moment. We're not done. I hope to still have you with me for a long time and live many more great memories together. Thank you, Soccer.
Testing. Apologies for that issue. It looks like we had a bit of an audio issue, but we should be back on now. Not sure how long that was happening, but I think we are all good at this point in time. CSI really having some issues in this half so far, just really not able to get anything going. The press from St. Michael's has been very effective, and they just can't find any passes through. Testing. 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 Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think we were having some audio issues there, but it seems like now maybe we have it fixed. Not really sure what's going on here. Joe is tending to some other matters, but I believe now it may be working. Really struggling are the Dolphins in this second half. Still about 20 minutes to go, and they haven't conceded quite yet. So you never know what may or may not happen, but Dolphins have really not had any chances so far this half, except for at the very beginning. Haven't seen much from Radovini. Haven't seen much from anyone else. Still trying to build out the back of the Dolphins, but they haven't been able to get through the midfield of St. Michael's. But who knows? All they need is that one opportunity in the tie game in order to take home all 3 points, so long as they keep the clean sheet. Foul call there. Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, at least I'm talking to my parents who are listening and they can't hear anything.
It's them.
We're addressing some audio issues here, folks. I'm not sure. Hopefully things have been going mostly smoothly. Score still 0-0. And we've got a nice tackle there. Another corner here for... No, it looks like we have a free kick right on the edge of the box. Dangerous opportunity here for St. Michael's. Swinging it in with an in-swinger. Looks like all of the St. Michael's attackers are at the back post. Here it comes in. Headed just away. And it looks like it was headed by a St. Michael's player. And it'll be a goal kick for CSI. And they continue to hang on here. haven't been able to show anything with the ball, but still defending resolutely. Albano to Uwe. Back to Albano. Up to Deck. She's able to control. Fighting now with two different St. Michael's players, and it's a St. Michael's throw. Oh, it looks like the call has been overturned. I'm not exactly sure who gave the indication there, but now it's Dolphins ball. Uwe throws to Melger in space. Marr. Looking to play in Radavini, but pass did not find through, and Radavini throwing your hands up in frustration. Good move there in the midfield for St. Michael's. Finding Gilkus with a dangerous diagonal cross, but no one there on the other end. Apologies, that is Geekus. Melger. Ooh, almost had a big issue there. Manages to just get away with it. Here's Uwe. Touch from Coca. Again given away. Uwe going up for it. Catches the body of Holly Hartland. That'll win CSI a much needed free kick, and hopefully that will relieve a fair amount of pressure. Big ball forwards. Radavini had time, but she chose to head it forwards. Might not matter in the end. Eventually coming away with it is Sam Page for St. Michael's, and now they're back on the attack. Here they come. Almost won back by Evla, but not quite. Out wide to Geekus. She plays into the box. Good defending from Albano. Using her body to create space, and she clears it away. But it's still a St. Michael's throw. Throw from Geekus finds the head of Melger. St. Michael's looking for space. Passes. Cut up by Radavini. Fighting with Heartland. Looks like she got a little bit too physical, and it'll be a free kick. Probably about 40 yards out. Probably too far to shoot, so I think we will see the ball be swung in. It's very direct, so probably we'll see a bit of a diagonal ball. Looks like to the left side, to the far side. McGifford. No, it is a shot, and it's punched over the net. What a save by Brianna Dorr. Impressive effort from Holly Hartland there. The freshman on St. Michael's decided to test Dorr, and she was up to the challenge, but there was some difficulty there, some movement on that shot. Corner comes in. Shot was not clean. However, the bouncing ball is still in the box. Eventually collected by Dorr. Again, Dolphins have not been able to create much of anything this second half. What can they do? What can they change? Ball out to Radavini. Looks like it might have gone off of St. Michael's, but no, Radavini was the last. Apologies, they overturned that. Castro throws it forwards. Nice touch with the head. Some space, and it looks like that'll be a corner for the Dolphins there. No, it's going to be a throw. Just barely a throw. Great work there from, I believe it was Carrara. Again, hard to see the numbers on the other side of the field, but if it was Carrara, it was great work to shepherd the ball down the line and create some space in the attacking third for the first time in 20 or so minutes, really. Here's Melger looking to keep the ball and wins a throw-in for CSI. They're having trouble getting out of that corner. Melger may have been looking for the quick throw there, but her teammate was not alert enough. Ball bounces. Radavini looking to make something happen. Hilke. Oh, that was Kolka. Ball loose. Kolka fighting for it. Bit of a mess. It's going to bounce St. Michael's way. But in for the hard tackle is Carrara. Look at her go. Oh, it's Radavini. Might it be a corner for the Dolphins? And it is. Radavini all over the place, and just that, like the beginning of the game, it's Radavini who's going to be the one to make things happen for this team. Speaking of, here she is to deliver the corner in swinger. Kolka on the keeper. Header one, bounced high and over the net. What a great opportunity. Free header off the corner. I believe might have been Albano. That header just did not get the contact that she would have wanted on that. Instead of getting a good shot on goal, she got a high bouncing header that went over the top. Here's Kolka. Battling for it with Gikas. Gikas won that one. But here's Kolka again. Gets around Gikas this time. Attempted cross was deflected. Another corner for the Dolphins, and they're starting to come alive here just a bit. Towards the back post, we see Evola and we see Albano looking to make delayed runs. Radavini will deliver. In close on the keeper. Punches it. Doesn't get clean contact, and it trickles out for another corner. Well, not terribly convincing from Anastopoulos. Looks like the good strategy here for the Dolphins to just put it right on top of the keeper. Short corner. Delivery from Radavini high to the back post. Albano with the header. It's deflected. Radavini with a shot towards the back post, and it's saved. Looks like the keeper actually now is Jenna Braun. She collected that very cleanly, getting across athletically, although I believe the shot was going wide. Long ball here for St. Michael's. Marr doesn't deal with it. Dorr collects. Dorr signaling to her teammates to push up the field for a long punt. High in the air. Kolka looks to control. Battles and pushes it forward. Radavini will chase. Up into the air, questionable clearance. Radavini still fighting for it. St. Michael's will clear. There's the tenacity in the midfield from the Dolphins that they've been missing. St. Michael's finally in the back foot just a little bit. Dolphins really need to keep up the aggression. About 8 minutes left in this game. Neither team has scored as of yet. Crossfield pass from Evola. Does not find a target. Melger trying to find a tackle. Radavini as well, but nothing comes off. Here's a nice poke ball through. Kasiba potentially through. Just barely poked away by Gabriela Castro. But she does give away another corner to this St. Michael's team. And how much more can this defense handle? In swinging corner, right on top of the keeper. Header was free, but she couldn't get the clean contact. That was a nice chance there for St. Michael's, but couldn't get it on target. The headers now from both teams on their attacking corners, really letting them down. CSI playing with fire here. Marr just barely gets out of pressure. Here's Castro progressing the ball. Knocks it down the far sideline. Fighting for it is Radavini. Does not win the throw-in. This time, however, they do win it, as it's a giveaway. Referee had to stop play because there were 2 balls on the field. Throwing is Castro. Looks like she's got a bit of a long throw. Melger. Gives to Radavini in the middle. Looks like it's been actually Carrara on the outside. She gives it away. Fouls in the midfield in order to prevent a counterattack. I'm surprised that that's not a card. St. Michael's hoping to possess, slow the game back down, and regain their control. Ball through there. Was a good idea, but just a little bit too much on it. And it trickles all the way through for a goal kick. Going to be a goal kick here. Dorr looking to take it. Originally was looking short, but now she tells her defenders to move up. 5 minutes to go here. Still nobody has scored. It's been a bit of a rough last 10 minutes. Nobody with any really clean chance. D'Amico getting called for a push in the back there off the goal kick. He's very upset with the referee, who aggressively brushed her away. But looks like D'Amico's got to watch out because she could get a card for talking to the ref a little bit too much. Free kick into the box. Still up in the air. D'Amico misses the header. And long shot with the left foot will not be dangerous to Dorr at all. Dorr will punt. D'Amico again can't find the header, but it falls to Melger. Coco looking to do a 1-2 with Evola, but Evola can't find the return pass. Evola intercepts there. Looking for Radavini in behind. Athletic attempt, and it's caught by Jenna Braun. Good improvisation from Radavini to take the loose ball out of the air and find a shot on target, but in the end, it was a little too central. Ball in behind. On the end of it is Toftero. And she'll win a deep throw-in. Uwe defending. One-on-one. Back out wide. St. Michael's cross it in. Header at the back post. Not the direction she was hoping. Looked more like a defensive header. And it'll be another goal kick for the Dolphins. At this point, hoping to just hold on to a draw here. But maybe potentially they can find a way to slip through and get that one chance that they would need at this point. Because about 2.5 minutes left, probably starting to think that if any team were to score, that would seal them to 3 points. Radavini fights for it. Plays in behind. Free on the right side. Can she whip across it? Cuts inside. Can't find a pass. It's well defended. Miscommunication between the defender and goalie leads to a less than ideal clearance for St. Michael's, and it's a corner for CSI. Might be the last clear-cut chance of the game for the Dolphins. Plays a short corner. Back to Melger, but she's offside, and that's a real wasted opportunity at the end of the game. Lack of awareness there from Melger and from Radavini to recognize her teammate was in an offside position. Free kick taken by the goalkeeper, Braun, and it looks like the referee has called a foul, giving St. Michael's a free kick in the middle of the field. About a minute left, clock is ticking. St. Michael's sending everybody forwards. Likewise, CSI has everybody back. Free kick did not make it as far as St. Michael's were hoping. Now it's high and bouncing just outside CSI's box. Still coming towards the goal. Toftero within the corner. Winters looking to make something happen. It's well tackled by Albano, who clears it away, and that will likely just about do it for this game. St. Michael's looking for one more chance. About 20 seconds left, chasing all the way back. It's going to go back to Braun. Clearance is not ideal. 10 seconds. And St. Michael's is not going to get back in time. That was offside, and that is going to be the end of this game. It's a 0-0 draw. And we talked earlier at the beginning of the game about how St. Michael's are very familiar with 0-0 draws, and this is just another one to add to that. And you have to think that St. Michael's is actually pretty unlucky. They were really, really pressing there at the end of the game. Just could not get a good attempt on net, to be truthful. CSI, with that second half performance, probably thankful that they were able to come away with a draw.
Well, Aaron, I thank you for taking over for me as I stepped into the room next door. We are having statistics issues. We did not get second half starters prior to the start of the second half, so we tried to eyeball it, and by the time I got next door, they had already fallen a bit behind, and we're still trying to catch up over there. So I'm going to step off headset. This has been Joe Foreman, and Aaron Cohen had the call of the second half for you in this NCAA Division II women's soccer matchup. Before we sign off, Aaron, you and I will be back for the men's game coming up shortly. What are your final takeaways from this first game?
The final takeaways are that there's a good foundation there for the Dolphins. It looks like they know how they want to play, and they have the players to do it, but it's a new coach and a new system, and it's just going to take time to really settle in there. Promising signs.
A promising debut for you too, Aaron, here on CSI Sportsnet. We're happy to have you, and you will be back with me for game number 2. I'm hoping to join you on the call, but if we can't get our statistics sorted out from this game, I may have to miss game 2 as well. So we'll sign off quickly. Aaron will be back for game 2. You'll have to tune in to see whether or not I join him. This has been CSI Sportsnet coverage of CSI Dolphins women's soccer. 0-0 draw between the College of Staten Island and St. Michael's College in the 2023 season opener.